Alright, what's up everybody? So this is going to be a really cool video. I know when I was younger I struggled a lot with overdrawing the golf ball. So what we're going to do this video on is I'm going to show you a way how you can set up to where you can draw the golf ball, but we also make sure that that draw is never going to cross your target line. So it's going to be a ball for a right-handed player that will always start right, and it's never going to curve far enough left that it's actually going to cross our target line to where we could get in trouble. Golf ball could end up in a hazard, short-sided, etc., things like that. So we're going to do a setup right here. I'm going to show you a grid of how we can set up based on ball position, what we're going to do with the club face, the grip handle, etc., and a release pattern to show you how we would never have that golf ball be able to curve too far across our target line. So starting out firstly like this, the first thing that I think everybody needs to understand is all of our golf clubs that we own have a preset draw built into them. So if I take this alignment stick right here and I run it down, for me being a right-handed player, and I run this straight down the side of the shaft, this club face right here is minutely closed a degree or two just based on the offset that we have right here in the golf club. So the leading edge is actually closed to what the leading edge or the lead side of the shaft would be if we were to look at that in a line. So already right off the bat, we have a golf club that is built to hit a draw for us. So now the next piece of this, what I'm going to show you is we are going to base everything inside of this system and inside of this setup. We're going to base this off of what a player's low point is. So when we talk about low point being the ball joint of the left shoulder where this hangs down, okay? So this would basically be everything is an acting arc around this joint right here, okay? So understanding that golf works on an arc like this, so like if I set this down right here, I'll actually do it from this angle first. I'm going to do it from over here firstly. So if I set this down right here, and we looked at, if I held this right in this area right here, and we worked this back, everything in golf, our golf swing, the golf club, everything operates on an arc system, okay? And that arc system is going to begin with where the lead shoulder is right here. So how the left arm would be working more so around the spine like this. So when we're here, if I set this up right here, so I'm going to call this low point right here, okay? So I'm going to base every single ball position that we have right here. We're going to base this off of where a player's low point is right here on the shoulder. Okay, then from there, we would have different ball positions. We have ball positions that would work backwards. We have ball positions that would work forward. So for us to hit a draw, we have to have a golf ball back of where our low point would be. So let's say for an easy reference right here, we said right here is neutral. This is our neutral ball position to hit a straight shot. Let's say for an easy reference, I'm going to move the golf ball way back here. So if I draw a line off of this now right here and I point that at that, this would be the golf club arcing in that direction right there. So then I can take another line and I can draw a 90-degree angle to this, and that is going to be my projected swing direction right here. So from right here, this is going to be my projected swing direction for me being a right-handed player out to the right. So when I show that to you now from another angle so we can actually see the swing direction of that, I'm going to call this low point right here. So this would be at a 90-degree angle to what our target line would be. So I'm going to bring the golf ball the same amount back in my stance right here. And I'm going to take this line right here. I'm going to connect the two lines. And this is going to point where my golf ball is right there. Okay, so from here, I can now draw a 90-degree angle to that. And this is going to project this 90-degree angle right here that where I would be catching this golf ball on an arc right here would be more from the inside. Now this again, this is assuming that we don't have any pulling, change in direction, steepness. So this would be based on a model as if somebody was swinging at zero, a zero swing direction, club path, etc. We're not talking about attack angle here. We're not talking about vertical swing plane. We're just talking about a very simple setup geometry-wise to help us start the golf ball right and be able to curve it back to the left, okay? So from here, if I set up to this right here, this would be my new swing direction. So if I hit a golf ball inside of this right here, what we would see, assuming that I have the face fairly square to what this yellow line is, this golf ball right here, even though I'm setting my feet up parallel to where my target is, this golf ball right here is going to start off right like that. So now what we could add to this, knowing that this is going to be our acting swing direction, which is going to be inside out, now the next piece of this is we have what we would call face angle. We can close the face angle, we can open the face angle, and we can even manipulate this in regards to what type of angle we're going to be gripping the club face, okay? So if I put this right here, this is a pointer stick, and I put this on the center of the club face right here. So if I came into here now like this, and I set up to this ball right here on this line right here, if I have the club face matching that swing direction just like this, that golf ball is going to be a straight push. Now, if I have the club face, which would be closed to that right there, this angle, if I have the club face this closed, the differential between here and here is going to be, this would be where this golf ball would end up finishing. So the golf ball will curve at a one-to-one relationship. So we don't want the club face to be crazy closed if we want the golf ball to start right, draw, but not finish where it is crossing our target line. So what we would want to see this club face looking like at address here is we would want to have the club face fairly neutral to what our ball position line is. This would be the yellow line right here on the stick. We would want to have it fairly neutral to slightly closed like this, and that would produce a small start right draw just based on that geometry. Assuming now that we don't have any twist or rapid closure in what the club face is doing. So when you're practicing release patterns right here, I'm going to take part of this setup away. So when we are practicing release patterns right here, if I hold this alignment stick on the club face right here, this is a great way that you could practice this at home. So right here is where the club face and the alignment stick are neutral. If I get the club face to finish on top of the alignment stick, that would be closed. And if I have the club face underneath the alignment stick right there, that would be open. So we want these staying neutral to whatever club face I would be presenting right here. If we get this look, that golf ball is going to hook. If we get this look here where the club face is underneath the alignment stick, that golf ball is probably going to start out to the right. And if we keep everything relatively neutral, we already have a built-in draw about 2 degrees closed to what our swing direction would be, just based on the geometry of this golf club, that would actually help us draw this golf ball. And all we have to do inside of this here is we have to know where we're setting this up from a geometry standpoint. So from here, when I get in here, how I would practice this is I would set the club face up against my ball position line firstly. Again, right in here, if I move all this stuff, this is our target line. This is our low point line, so that's going to sit right there. This is our ball position line, which gives us the ability, again, to project what our swing direction is. Now, we want to see that club face relatively square to what this yellow line would be. And how you can play around with this now is when you hit shots, if you see the ball start right and it stays too far right, we know the club face was open. If we see the ball starting more left and hooking, that would tell us that the club face right here is too closed. If we see the ball starting right and fading, that would mean the club face is far too open to that right there. And so this is a really cool way that you can practice this to be able to project where your golf ball is going to go. So in our scenario here, we're trying to hit a draw without overdrawing it. So for me, this ball position is right about in the center of my stance based on where this line is off of my low point line. I'm going to set the club face square to what this yellow line is right here, and I'll tell you what this golf ball does right here. The other thing I'm doing is I'm keeping my lead hand more in line with what my low point is. I'm not letting my handle sit back here or sit in the center, because the further back I start to sit the handle sometimes, that has an effect on what the golf club is doing, okay? So we would be in here. So I'm gonna give this one a go. So I would be right here, work this back. There's my feel at impact, and there's my feel after impact to where I have not had any twist nor opening of what the club face is doing. So I'd be here, and we'll give it a go. And so that golf ball started right, and that literally curved right back to where my target line was. So that, for me, that was a perfect shot. And what's neat about that is I didn't have to feel like I was releasing, I'm sorry, not releasing, rotating the club face right here, because there is still a release that is happening this way. I don't want you to think that I am asking you to hold the club face off forever, because that's not what's happening right there. So if we saw the ball curve too much to the left, let's say, what I could do is I could come in here again. I'm going to move this back a little so I can hit this ball right here. And what we would do is I would really make sure that club face is square. So on this one, I'm going to try and get this ball to start right and stay straight. So the club face looks very square to this yellow line right here. This is working again on my acting arc right there. I'm going to go ahead and rip this now. So that golf ball started right and stayed right the whole time. So what I did there is I matched the swing direction to what my club face was right there. That's why there was no curvature in the golf ball. Now, if we had a golf ball that hooked too much, which we are not trying to do inside of this video right here, this club face would actually look closed, very close to what this yellow line is. So if I just make my natural swing right there, same release, this would be how I would get the golf ball to hook quite a bit more. And so that golf ball definitely over curved past where my target line was. So what we have to be able to match up here again, when I show it to you from this view here, this is my low point line. This is my ball position line. So from here, when I'm in setup, you will see this club face. When I pick this up, this is going to look open to the vast majority of you. I'm not going to have the club face looking dead shut like this trying to hit a draw. I'm going to have it somewhat square to what this yellow line is, and then from there I'm letting the preset draw and the offset of this golf club, just like all of us have right here, turn the golf ball over for me. And that is a way that we can practice hitting shots, hitting draws to where we know that golf ball is going to start right for the right-handed player, and it is not going to curve far enough left to where it's going to cross our target line, get us in trouble in regards to short-siding ourselves, hazards, etc., things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Click that link below to subscribe. If you haven't, go ahead and click the other link I have right there. Watch that video on understanding setup for free. Look out for these videos every single Friday coming to you on YouTube. Thanks.